Hello, Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I would like to invite you all in this webinar session, which is about packaging, the overlooked P of marketing. Well, the aim of this session is about to give you the basic knowledge of packaging, that how packaging is important for any business or any industry, because every product is somehow packed in certain type of packaging, either is related to skincare, home care, or electronics, or anything. Then secondly, the aim of the session is also about to cover how this packaging is affecting our environment and how can we control that in order to save our environment. For that we have two amazing speakers with us. As you can see on the screen, Sir Jiyad. His name is enough to talk about. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Walaikum Salam.
Secondly, we have Raza. Raza from Bulleh, Shah, dealing with corrugated carton. Assalamu alaikum, Raza. How are you?
Walaikum salam, walaikum salam. How are you all?
Alhamdulillah. Bilkul theek. Okay, so we will start the session with Sir Jiyad. Sir, please start with it. Give some information about the basics of packaging and all. Let's start.
Assalamu alaikum, and I will start with a brief introduction about myself. Professionally, I am an engineer, and I did my industrial manufacturing engineering from NED, and then I did my MBA in management sciences, majors in marketing from SZABIST, and then I'm batch of 2005. Then I did my MS in management sciences again from SZABIST, and this year, inshallah, I would be completing my PhD in supply chain, and my dissertation thesis is on green supply chain. And regarding my experience, I have spent most of my professional life in the packaging domain or the packaging arena. I worked for 15 years for Unilever, and out of 15 years, 14 years I have spent in packaging and the product development, and 10 years I have worked for Unilever as head of packaging development. So that is actually about, you can say, my packaging background, the little experience which I have acquired. Yeah.
That's an amazing introduction to start with. Well, about me, basically, I graduated from SZABIST and I joined Bulleh Packaging, and I'm here with the company since the last 6 years. And I have moved. I was looking after the FMCG business first, especially in the corrugation section, and then I moved to the export business, which is basically primarily the textile business. So I've got the exposure of both the industries, the FMCG and the textile. So now looking forward to get more business. There's amazing challenges out here. So that's about it. What about you, Hira?
Well, I graduated from SZABIST in 2017. I joined Packages Limited, dealing in flexible, and joined Packages like 1.5 year ago, and dealing with some renowned brands of Pakistan, very renowned. So through this session, definitely it will be helpful for everyone who is dealing in packaging industry, even for the marketeers who are dealing with their products, with the importance of their products and the packaging related to it. So somehow it will be very helpful for everyone.
Definitely, definitely. So, to start with the introduction of packaging. So, how diverse the packaging and how everything is growing, how dynamic the business industry is getting. So, the intensity of supplies is very, very important, especially the packaging business. Especially when we need to launch a product or get some new product in the market. So packaging plays a very diverse role. What do you say,
Exactly.
Jad?
Agree.
Yes, Raza, I would start with that for those guys who are actually, you can say, a layman, because, even when I started my career in the packaging, I was a layman as well. And unfortunately, we don't have any institute which is actually teaching packaging. And that is actually you can say, a lacking area in our curriculum as well, that we don't teach much about packaging, not in the
Packaging.
marketing, not in the supply chain, not anywhere else.
Yeah.
And that is, I would say, a neglected area. And unfortunately, like if we talk about India, they have the Packaging Institute of India, which is doing a great job for them, for their nation. But unfortunately, we don't have such kind of institutes in Pakistan. So I was a layman as well, and I would say that I started my packaging journey from packages. That was actually my first stint. I was placed there at Lahore, and there I asked the mentor or the person who was assigned to coach me that what is actually packaging. His name is Lukman, and he is now at, I think, at Canada. So he told me that packaging is very simple, that the role of the packaging is to act as a barrier, that something from outside should not enter inside,
In
and something which is present inside, which is your product, shouldn't go outside. So that is actually the layman definition of the packaging from a technical perspective. And
totally agree.
then he yeah and then he introduced me with the marketing aspects and the technical aspects, and also what are the points where these two things, the technical and the marketing aspects, overlaps, where the marketeers are unable to understand few technical limitations, like the artworks appearance or like that. So that is actually, I think, one of the area which we should talk about for the, you can say, benefit of the audience related to the marketing, that what are the limitations, what they should know, what are the kind of awareness they should build when they are stepping into the professional arena. Yeah.
Right.
Definitely. So to start with, you're right. It is very important for them to know the criterias of packaging. You know, the sort of packaging, you know, in the industry, uh, like the packaging, the corrugation, and the other the flexible packaging. If we could start with the flexible from Hira, from your side, if you could tell them a bit about the flexible packaging, like, you know, like how the soaps are being packed, and
ओके फाइन अगर इसको बिल्कुल मैं लेमैन के उस पे एग्जांपल दूं और इसको एक्सप्लेन
बिल्कुल
करना चाहूँ, जैसे सर जियाद ने कहा कि हमें इंटैक्ट रखना होता है किसी भी प्रोडक्ट को उसकी ओरिजिनल फॉर्म के अंदर, ताकि वो एंड यूजर तक जब वो पहुंच रहा हो तो एग्जैक्टली उसी फॉर्म में पहुंचे जो कि उसके मैन्युफैक्चरर ने डिजाइन किया है. फॉर दैट पैकेजिंग प्लेज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रोल. अगर पैकेजिंग में कहीं भी लैकिंग आ रही होगी तो जो मैन्युफैक्चरिंग का एम था कि अपने एंड यूजर तक पहुंचे, वो नहीं पहुंच पा रहा होता है. And a product go through with the various steps, like वो पैकेजिंग के बाद वो प्रोडक्ट आपकी पैकेजिंग के बाद पैक होता है, वो शिपमेंट होता है, डिफरेंट आपके चैनल्स के थ्रू होके एक एंड यूजर तक जा रहा होता है. तो दैट पैकेजिंग शुड बी अप्रोप्रिएट टू कंटेन टू सस्टेन विद द लाइक द इम्पोर्टेंस ऑफ दैट प्रोडक्ट, और जो भी उसके एसेंशियल्स हैं कि वो इंटैक्ट रहें. तो इन सब चीजों के लिए आपके और जो आपके डिफरेंट आपकी इंडस्ट्रीज हैं, डिफरेंट आपके टाइप्स ऑफ प्रोडक्ट्स हैं, फॉर दैट बैरियर्स आपके वेरी कर रहे होते हैं. अगर आपके कोई लाइक आपके फूड रिलेटेड प्रोडक्ट्स हैं, so they have different types of barriers. If we are dealing in the like soaps or like home care, skin care, for that we have a different types of barrier. We have to intact all them in together so the consumer can use it. Sometime हमारे साथ ऐसा होता है, कोई प्रोडक्ट हम बाय कर रहे हैं, हमने उसे ओपन कर फॉर लाइक बिस्किट्स, वो फ्रेश नहीं होते. क्यों फ्रेश नहीं होते? कि उसके अंदर बैरियर अगर इंटैक्ट नहीं हो रहे हैं. तो ये बेसिकली होता है कि अगर पैकेजिंग के फैक्टर्स होते हैं कि और आई गेस मैंने भी जब पैकेजिंग ज्वाइन नहीं की थी तो मुझे भी आइडिया नहीं था कि एक स्मॉल से रैपर के पीछे कितनी बड़ी साइंस होती है, कि हम तो
true.
जस्ट रैपर ओपन करा और जो भी हमने यूज करा उसको फेंक दिया. सो कम टू द पैकेजेस, आई केम टू नो कि आपके एक रैपर के पीछे भी बहुत बड़ी साइंस है, बहुत बड़ी इन्वेस्टमेंट होती है. इसके अंदर बड़ी बड़ी R&Ds होती हैं जो कि अपनी चीजों को प्लान करी होती है. इसके अंदर आपके कोई भी पहले आपकी फॉर एग्जांपल कोई प्रोडक्ट न्यू लॉन्च हो रहा है तो उसके लिए पूरे प्लान्स बनते हैं कि हमें किस तरह की पैकेजिंग चाहिए होगी, फिर उनके ट्रायल्स होते हैं, उनके अप्रूवल्स होते हैं, देन आर्टवर्क्स होते हैं. इन सारी चीजों के बाद जाके हम कहीं एक फाइनल प्रोडक्ट को फाइनल कर रहे होते हैं और उसे मार्केट में
True.
एक्सपोर्ट कर रहे होते हैं. तो
Yeah.
इट्स नॉट लाइक कि हमने कोई
Hira,
चीज सोच
I
ली
would
और
like
मार्केट
to
में आई.
Yeah, and I would like to pick a point from here. Thanks for a very comprehensive discussion on that. I would like to pick a point regarding artwork here, and that is actually one of the chronic issue in the industry, and that is very much related to the marketing. Actually, what is the problem which I have faced throughout my professional life? I was assigned the role of the packaging development, and whenever any brand manager wants to, you can say, deploy the project as soon as possible. And believe me, always they are in that hurry. They want to deploy
Yes.
the projects as soon as possible. Always, they always want to do
Always,
that. They want to do the launch tomorrow.
always on the
Yeah.
toe.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So what is actually the problem? Let's say I can give you the example. Let's say if they are actually launching a shampoo or the cream, so you can understand that shampoo or the cream or even the biscuits, they all have different SKUs, different packaging formats. Sometimes you have the tiki pack, sometimes in the different products you have sachet and the bottle, and the bottles have labels. So
Labels.
what is the problem, and what is actually the lack of understanding or the awareness which they have, despite of having the degree in marketing, that they do not have the idea that if they are providing me some artwork, so they want to replicate the same artwork and same aesthetics on all the packaging formats, be it the sachet, be it the bottle label, be it
Be
the
it the
any other
carton.
kind of packaging, and
Yes.
yeah, be it the carton as well. So it is next to impossible, or you can say it is impossible to achieve the same kind of graphics and aesthetics on each and every packaging substrate of the different types, or on the different packaging formats. So this is very difficult to convey to them, and I think that this is actually one of the area where I think, uh, as in you can say, linkage between academia and you can say industry, we should also speak about it, that how we can actually inculcate some of the technical, or you can say marketing information in the curriculum, that they should have some idea about that, how the artwork, what is actually artwork and how it would appear, why it is actually appearing differently on a sachet and why it is appearing differently on a carton, and what are the technical limitations on that. The
This
second
is
thing
very
is that
important. This is very important.
that is actually where, yeah, yeah, exactly. And the second thing is that where I think the marketeers can get the support from us, and I think the companies like Packages and the Bulisha, they have the edge in that. That is actually the kind of the aesthetics, like the foiling and the different types of foiling, like cold foiling and its advantages, and how it could make your packaging aesthetically appealing. So these kind of, or you can say the different textures or the embossings, or you can say the varnish or the lacquers. So these kind of understanding which are actually purely related to the aesthetics. Yes, it has the technical aspect because it's all
Yeah.
about you can say process. But what is actually the role of these things, like varnish, lacquer, and you can say hot foiling, coat foiling, and the other processes in the aesthetics? So these things, I think, should be, I think, you can say, communicated to the marketeers, those guys who are actually studying the marketing, and how they can use it and utilize it. And if they can, I would love to see that if they can practically see it by visiting some facility. So that is actually some of the area which I would say that the overlooked P of the marketing of the package.
Agreed. आपका यहाँ पे मैं एक point pick करूँगी that through this all options in availability, like the matte lacquer option, in the foil option, the marketer can make their products more appealing. There are like many options can be used for that, कि आप अपने product को और market में like shelf के ऊपर किस तरह visible बना सकते हैं through this packaging, और उसके किस तरह appealing कर सकते हैं. We have all these options for it. अगेन आपने आर्टवर्क के ऊपर जो बात कही, इसी में एक लाइक वी हैव सम कस्टमर्स जो अपने साशे और फिर अपने ऑफ सेट्स के जो होते हैं, आपके प्रोडक्ट्स होते हैं, वो उनकी भी कोशिश ये होती है कि हमारे जो कलर्स हैं और जो उसके ऊपर आर्टवर्क्स हैं, दे शुड बी मैच 100%. एंड देयर इज लिमिटेशन ऑफ ऑफसेट्स एंड देयर इज लिमिटेशन फॉर द फ्लेक्सिबल प्रोडक्ट्स. So we want our customer to understand this, that there are limitations, that the picture on the offset will be different, and the picture on the flexible products like on the sachet or on the packaging of anything like shampoo or the sachet labels are a bit different. So this thing need to be identified. Like if a product is given to offset, to follow this artwork, and it should be according to it. So the offset cannot be matched 100% to a sachet, to the artwork of the sachet, to the color, because the films are different, the bases are the different, the material are the different. So everything cannot be matched exactly. This is very important for the marketer and for the industry to understand. This is very important point, as Sir Jazz said, and we have faced this issue many times.
Definitely. And another thing is that, and they try to replicate the same sort of printing on corrugation. Yeah, and the carton is brown. There's a base of brown, and they expect the same sort of result, the same sort of color code to reflect on that. So that is also a pretty big challenge.
And it
But
becomes
how?
difficult to let them understand.
Yes, yes, it's extremely difficult, and it's extremely difficult to tell them that the shade on white and brown would differ. It's a very basic thing, but it's
Very
pretty
basic.
hard to explain.
Yeah, Raza, you are very right that in most of the, you can say, the B2B markets, yes, aesthetics, packaging aesthetics is actually amended or the foremost important thing. And you are right that I think this could be the very good example, and we can explain it to those guys who have very little knowledge about the packaging, that they are asking for getting, you can say, a white board background on a yellow board, or you
Yes,
can say the brown board, the corrugated. So they want to get the same white board background, and you can say they want to get the artwork to be replicated on the white board or the yellow board or the brown board in the same manner, and want to get the same aesthetic output. So that is actually, I would say, if you are having a black screen at the back and you say that give me the white output, it is impossible. And similarly, I have white background right now, and if you say that make it black, so it is next to impossible. So you can say that the marketeers should have the understanding of the limitations at the academic side. And yes, we are not only discussing the limitations, but there are some of the supports which we can provide regarding the aesthetics, which we have talked about. But we will also talk about the packaging sustainability, on which I think packages and the Bulleh Shah and some other companies are doing a great job. And here I think we can provide the support to the marketeers. They can actually build their marketing or the positioning themes on the basis of the packaging sustainability. So that packaging sustainability is actually, you can say, talk of the town in every packaging format, be it the rigid plastics. You must be aware of the post-consumer recycled plastic bottles. You must be aware of the, you can say, recyclable packaging material for the sachet, or the, you can say, every laminate which is being used in the flexible, and corrugated is already recyclable.
already
So
recyclable.
Raza, I would like yeah, I would like you to shed some light on the packaging sustainability, the some of the initiatives taken by the Bulleh Shah regarding the sustainability, and also FSC and other kind of certifications which are necessary for packaging sustainability, for the, you can say, um, international, you can say, accreditation and recognition regarding the sustainability work. And the third thing is that how it can support the marketeers specifically in crafting their
Definitely.
themes, marketing themes for the, which can hover around the sustainability theme.
Definitely,
Yeah, Raza.
definitely. Bulisha has been working on a lot of sustainability projects. Especially, they have a biomass plant, and they are producing their gas and electricity using waste of agriculture. Basically, तोरी कहते हैं उसको, जो wheat के बाद जो चीज़ बच जाती है उसको तोरी कहते हैं पंजाबी ज़बान में. तो वो चीज यूज करके, द वेस्ट को यूज करके, दे आर प्रोड्यूसिंग इलेक्ट्रिसिटी एंड दे आर प्रोड्यूसिंग गैस. And the best part is they are producing around 35 mega uh, electricity, and they are providing the same electricity to the city in Kasur, which is an amazing project. They're also helping the government, because they're not able to get so much electricity in that area, because it's basically in a rural area. That is one of the biggest and the most amazing projects. Other than that, we are working towards recycled products. We are trying to increase the recycle of products as much as possible. Corrugation is already recycled, but we are moving towards another project, which is the FSC, which is the Forest Stewardship Council project. What it happens is that when we are buying wood when we are buying pulp, we are buying from a sustainable source. When we are buying it from a sustainable source, we are making sure that every time we cut a tree, we are putting up 10 trees in place of that one tree. So that is how we are trying to give back to the society when we are actually trying to do business. Other than that, we have a few schools in Kasur. We have taken over a lot of schools, and we are giving education to kids free of cost, and many other projects like that. So that is one thing that all the organizations should consider, like while they're doing business. Other than that, this can be used by the marketeers in their sustainability, in their marketing campaigns, that they are purchasing from a sustainable supplier, a supplier which is compliant, and which is actually following, which is giving back to the society. So that is one very important concept.
Okay, thank you, Raza. So, Hera, would you like to add something on that?
Okay, I would like to add in it. For me, sustainability is all about recycling, reuse of the products or the material. For sustainability, recycling हमें innovations की तरफ जाना पड़ता है. हमें innovations करेंगे तो ही हम recycling की तरफ जा रहे हैं. In flexible, there are many. We are dealing with so many customers, and for many customers, innovations are in pipeline to convert their laminates, to convert their material from regular product to like uses of the plastic. We are trying to make lesser use of the plastic and shift to recyclable laminates. That will be helpful for the इन्वायरमेंट. सो ऐसे बहुत सारे प्रोजेक्ट्स हैं क्योंकि काफी सारी एमएनसीज भी हैं जिनके टारगेट्स भी हैं कि टू सर्टेन टाइम दे हैव टू बी इन सस्टेनेबल प्रोजेक्ट्स टू रीच देयर सस्टेनेबिलिटी. देन अगर हम इसकी बात करें तो हमें सिर्फ सस्टेनेबिलिटी प्रोडक्ट के थ्रू नहीं लानी है. हमें रेलेवेंस रहने के लिए हमें अपनी मशीनरी के अंदर भी सस्टेनेबिलिटी को इनहेंस करना चाहिए. फॉर दैट मैं एक एग्जांपल इसमें कोट करूंगी फ्लेक्सिबल के लिए. फॉर लाइक ऑयल पैकिंग, ऑयल पाउचेस, जो पीई एक्सक्लूडर होता था वो पहले था 5 लेयर का, सो दैट उसके अंदर हम उसके बैरियर को इंटैक्ट रख सके. अब हम उसी के साथ हमने 7 लेयर एक्सक्लूडर को ऐड करा जिसके थ्रू हम उसी मटेरियल के अंदर 7 लेयर्स दे रहे हैं जिससे आपकी बैरियर का इंटैक्ट जो है वो बढ़ गया है. और इसके थ्रू आपका क्या है कि मशीन के अंदर हमने रेलेवेंस बढ़ाई, इन्वेस्टमेंट हमने मशीन में की, हार्डवेयर के अंदर इन्वेस्टमेंट की. सो सम हाउ हमने उसके अंदर आपकी सस्टेनेबिलिटी बढ़ाई. इससे आपका सस्टेनेबिलिटी में क्या इम्पैक्ट पड़ता है कि जहां आपका टनेज, अगर आपका एयरली यूजेज आ रहा था, कोई आपका 100 टन आ रहा है, तो जब आपने इस तरह से मटेरियल को उसके अंदर डाउन गेज करते हैं तो आप एयरली अपना टनेज जो है उसको लेसर बढ़ा देते हैं. 100 की जगह आपका वो हो जाएगा फॉर एग्जाम्पल 80 और 70 हो जाता है. इन दैट सिनेरियो आप मटेरियल यूजेज भी कम कर रहे हैं और इस तरह आप अपनी शिपमेंट, अपना लेबर, कार्बन फुटप्रिंट्स, इन सबको रिड्यूस कर रहे होते हैं. तो समहाउ आप इनोवेशंस के थ्रू भी अपनी सस्टेनेबिलिटी को एनहांस कर सकते हैं, लाइक बाय क्रिएटिंग इनोवेशंस, making down gauging in the existing products or shifting laminates to the films which are recyclable. For that currently जो use होने वाली है, अगर हम उसे technically बोलें तो as you know sir, the BOPP layer which is more reliable in sustainable projects, उसके ऊपर focus किया जा रहा है. और I guess जो आपकी MNCs हैं, they are driven with their regions to be in sustainable projects and to achieve their targets by certain times. तो या आपकी सस्टेनेबिलिटी जो है वो बहुत ज्यादा इस वक्त इन है और मार्केट में, और हमें इसके ऊपर फोकस भी करना चाहिए.
Thank you, Hera. Or okay, so I think sustainability is yes, one of the emerging trend of this decade, and it would be here, I think, for a very long time, because One more thing I would like to add, which you are talking about, that is a very useful information for the marketeers. You can say the booming or the blossoming marketeers that uh, if we talk about Pakistan, so there is a research of the Nielsen that buzzwords which are actually most frequently searched in Pakistan in the last 2 years are organic and environmental sustainability and the water scarcity and the green environment. So these are the three, four words. So which can actually give a directional indication that in which direction the youth are actually thinking and what they are actually inclined to. So it means I think the youth is quite aware of the environmental concerns and the footprints which are actually increasing, and they are actually more inclined towards the organic products and also the usage of the sustainable packaging. And that's why across the globe the companies are actually working on ocean plastic usage and also the usage of you can see the recycled plastic, the projects which I have talked about, like the PCR plastic in the packaging, you can say the bottles, and also the recycling of the sachet. So my point is that marketeers can use it as a marketing positioning statement, as a marketing tool. They can actually make a campaign which is actually revolving around the sustainability strategy. They can claim that even they can get the competitive advantage if they are coming ahead of the competitors in the
Agree.
market. They can get the competitive advantage that we are sustainable and the others are not, and we are actually giving you you can say and giving you a chance to clean the environment with us. So that is actually what that is actually a collaborative approach with the consumer, and the consumer would love to participate in these sort of campaigns, and the youth are already very passionate and energized about the packaging sustainability. So that is actually something on which the marketeers can think about, and I can give it to you in written that in the next you can say 5 to 10 years, you would see that globally and in Pakistan as well, most of the marketing campaigns would be on the basis of the environmental sustainability, water scarcity, and energy saving. You have already witnessed it in the automobile industry, right?
I agree with this point. Marketing can be used as sustainability as a USP. अपनी मार्केटिंग वो अपने कस्टमर्स को कंज्यूमर्स को इसके साथ इंटरेक्ट करके बिल्कुल वो अब कोलैबोरेट कर सकते हैं और इसी के थ्रू हम इसको एनहेंस भी कर सकते हैं बिकॉज इफ द इंडस्ट्री इज ओनली वर्किंग ऑन सस्टेनेबिलिटी we need to involve the audience, we need to involve the customer as well in this, because if they are not aware of the sustainability, they won't participate. So it is a responsibility of the industry to at least acknowledge the sustainability. What is sustainability? To come up with sustainability projects or the campaigns to let the people aware of it. Okay, what is sustainability and how important it is?
Yeah.
Another thing is
So
this
yeah.
the same sort of the same sort of projects are being initiated, especially for the export business. Like most of the export customers, like their customers who are asking for FSC certified material. So what's happening is that they're definitely moving towards reliable sources, and definitely towards people who are using sustainability as one of their main goals. So, for example, moving towards solar energy, moving towards procuring material which is being purchased from sustainable sources, rather than being illegally cut trucks, trees, stuff like that. So this is these sort of initiatives are actually really really good for business, especially for the export sector. Especially right now, I'm looking after some towel customers, so they are procuring material to more of FSC certified material rather than normal material, like which is not FSC certified. So that is true. So the same impact you were talking about in the automobile industry, the same impact is happening in the textile sector as well. Okay.
Very true. Uh, Raza, one more thing, I think on which I would like you to shed some light on that area, and that is actually the launch timelines and the on-time availability of the material, and its RFT means right first time, and the role of you can say a reliable supplier in that. So, what are the impacts, or you can say, what are the advantages you can get when you have a reliable supplier, and what are the disadvantages which you could have if you don't have a reliable supplier, and how it can dent the launch for a marketeer? Raza, I think you are on the mute.
Yeah. I've just removed the mute. So basically, especially after COVID, after the lockdown and everything, majority of the customers, they realized that there was only one vendor, especially in corrugation, who was able to supply on time and who was able to arrange the material for them to supply their product in the markets. So basically, customers were there, they wanted the product, but they could not deliver, most of them. The major reason was the sustainability. The major reason was the reason that we have our own paper mill. We had our own raw material, and we did not have to look for paper in the market. We use our own paper to supply to the market. So when your raw material is safe, so you can ensure supplies and you can become more reliable than other suppliers in the market. So that is one big edge which packages and Bulisha has, that they have their own raw material. Their major supply is from their own raw material sources. So that becomes more reliable, and especially during the launches and everything, the sort of trust they have gained with especially customers like Unilever, PNG, no other vendor could intervene like that. So I think Hira, if you have some similar sort of
Exactly.
experience.
After that, during the last COVID, the first lockdown, there were so many like the small vendors, small packaging vendors. They all shut down. So packages were the only one who supplied material and tried to manage everything. Like our factory is located in Lahore, as you know, and we manage everything and did the great job with everyone. So yeah, this is a point. Okay, packages is one of the vendor who has their own plant for their material. Uh, uh, yeah, it's true for like flexible. We need to procure some material. It's not like we are 100% producer of the material. It might be for you like Belisha, they have 100%
Yeah.
produce their raw material. We do procure material, but for us, it is very important to keep material, to keep inventory for our customers. We know our customers, their like the requirements. So accordingly, we plan, and we maintain and manage our inventories accordingly. But yeah, in COVID, all our customer get to know this point that the packet is one of the leading and the one who can supply timely and on a very short time period and serve the best.
Thank you, Raza and Hira, on shedding light on that. So, for marketeers, I think just one point of you can say learning regarding this on-time material availability and the reliability of the supplier. That if you do not get the material on time, it means you cannot produce it on time. When you cannot produce it on time, you cannot land it into the market on time, and it means you are not happening your launch on time. And you know
True.
that yeah, and once I was teaching at a university, and I was solving some numerical. So I found one of the student, she was actually talking to some of her friend, and I said that why you are not concentrating on this. She said, sir, I want to be a marketeer, I don't like maths. So I told her that I still remember I said in गाड़ी उर्दू कि this हिसाब किताब is very important. ये बहुत ज़रूरी है marketeer के लिए भी. And honestly speaking, this mathematics is very important because every brand has targets. So If you do not have the launch on time, it means you have missed your brand targets and the sales target, and this is something which is irrevocable. The time which is gone for from this year, even if it is a week, so it means that sales of a week has been gone. So that is actually the significance of having the on-time material availability with no quality issue and the reliable supplier for a marketeer.
True.
Definitely, and the same was witnessed in the supermarkets. The products of some people who did not have reliable sources, their product was not in the market, and they were
Yeah,
not able to capitalize on that situation. And while customers who had reliable customer vendors, their product was present in the markets. So
yeah,
that definitely would have given them an edge, over others.
yeah. So I think Raza, again, I would first come to you, and then we will discuss about it with Hira as well. That is actually we still have, I think, 10-15 minutes. So can we
Okay.
discuss about another emerging trend that is about e-com packaging, and that is actually something very appealing for the budding entrepreneurs. And during this COVID environment, a lot of online selling, purchasing is going
Yes.
on, and new businesses are actually opening. So how we can support in terms of e-com packaging, and what you guys are already doing in that domain as well. So
Hello, can you
that
hear
is,
me?
I think, we can discuss as
Give
well.
me a second.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes,
Yeah,
we
Radha,
can.
we can hear you.
Yeah, okay. Sorry. Basically, you are exactly you're right. Especially the amount of e-commerce which is growing, and all the products that are being shipped, they are being shipped in the boxes. So there has been a massive increase in demand of boxes, and the amount of growth in the e-commerce sector is like phenomenal. It's like it's not in percentage. It's like times. It's growing that much. Like 4 or 5 years ago, if someone used to buy like 20,000 outers, now they are moving towards a million outers a month. So this is how much the e-commerce has grown, especially after COVID. It has had a great impact on that business. And this is very important that their product being packed is packed in a very, very safe and a very strong box, which is able not which is not damaged during the transit. So
Agree.
these sort of challenges are very there is big challenge, because if you're buying a box and if your product is getting damaged on the way, then the game is all over. Like you were giving an example of biscuits. Like if you're going to buy a biscuit from the supermarket, and if you open it and it's crushed from inside, so the end of the day the customer might not buy that product again. And especially after e-commerce, a lot of things are being purchased online, and it is very important that they have a product which is able to sustain their product, and the product is not damaged on the way, because the cost will be eventually to the business. Another thing I was looking forward to talk about was the PDQs, the innovative business. There has been a lot of innovation in the corrugation. Like at first, when we used to talk about corrugation, it used to be tertiary packaging, but now things are changing. Like people are talking about PDQs. I have a box here. Let me show you. I don't know how clear it is right now. If you can see this box, this is a box. This is called a display box. And what is happening in this box is that towel customers like Afros, they are dispatching, they're putting towels in this box, they're putting a top over it, and they're shipping it to USA, to Walmart. And the amazing part about this box is that they are able to use this as a shelf ready box. This is marketing its own self, first of all. Secondly, it is actually saving a lot of time and a lot of labor. When the shelf is empty, they just remove this shelf and they just place the shelf right there. So this is the sort of innovation which is coming in the market. So this sort of marketing is actually can be used by marketeers.
Okay, can you please see the question on the screen?
Yes. What about companies which are not vertically integrated? Okay, the sort of problem with people with companies which are not vertically integrated, they're facing a lot of issues, especially in supply, especially at this time. There's a massive issue of paper, and there's unavailability of raw material of paper, which is the OCC. So right now there are a lot of customers, they are struggling in packaging because they're unable to arrange the materials. So in vertically integrated is very necessary right now, considering the market situation.
Yeah. Raza, should I add a few points on that
Please,
question?
please, please.
Yeah, I would add that on top of that, what Raza has said, that those companies which are not vertically integrated right now, there are you can say the issues are complex or the multiple issues are being faced by those companies. Right now, the companies are facing the issues of the material availability. First of all, the materials are not available, and even if they are available, then the second issue is their prices, which are actually shooting up. And there is not only one factor; there are multiple factors. One is actually COVID, and on the top of that, the you can say the snow storm at USA. Then the third thing is on cherry on the top is actually the Swiss Canal blockage, and then again the third wave of the COVID, and the
Yes.
fourth one is actually the containers congestion or the containers non-availability. So what is happening? The transportation cost in the material is not available, and if it is available, it is available at a higher price. So that some of the issues actually popped up due to the Suez Canal blockage and delays. Then the third thing is that transportation is not available, and if it is not available, it is available at a cost you can say 10x. For example, some container was available in $200 earlier. Right now, it is available at $2,000. So those companies who are not vertically integrated, they are actually having the dent on their bottom line or the profitability. So we can say that those companies which are having vertical integration, they have edge or the advantage over those who are not vertically integrated.
Another thing I would like to add, like especially because of the e-commerce, the usage of the cartons has increased massively. So the sale has already increased, a lot. It has increased so much that the supply is becoming less and the demand is increasing. So this sort of dynamic growth in the industry, is like increasing phenomenally. So just to ensure supplies, it is very important to have a supplier who's like vertically integrated.
Exactly, Raza. In first wave of the COVID and again in the current wave of the COVID, जो आपकी companies and the suppliers who are not vertically integrated, they are facing this issue that they have a lack of raw material, so they are unable able to supply material timely to their customers. This is a very big problem. Again, we come to the previous point कि हम कि packages इस चीज के अंदर successful रही है that they are somehow vertically integrated for their raw material, so they are sustained in the market. So it will be very difficult, or during the current situation the prices are very on the high side. As sir said,
Yes.
a container which was of the $2,000, it's now more than three times more than of their original prices. That is very true. तो दीज आर द मेजर कंसर्न्स जो कि वर्टिकली इंटीग्रेटेड नहीं है कंपनीज, उनके लिए जो इश्यूज हैं वो करंट कोविड सिचुएशन के अंदर और ज्यादा बढ़ गए हैं.
Bilkul. Or and one more thing is that like companies like us, like we're loaded after COVID, we've been loaded for like two months, and you know a lot of customers are moving towards us, and
Exactly.
after that we are also planning some expansions. After that, we're planning another 115, 1 lakh 15 ton plant in Karachi, and right now we were already the market leaders, and we had majority of the share compared to the other vendors who are integrated. But still, we are not able to meet the demand of our customers. Even we are loaded for 2 months, and it's a very difficult
Because
situation because we
majority
need
of the
to.
customers and their businesses, the percentages of businesses are shifted to packages after
Yes,
this COVID situation.
definitely. And it is very hard because we are we have customers since last 50 years, and we need to retain the businesses. We need to ensure that their launches are not delayed. So it is a very very tough situation for us.
And I think one more point, I think keeping in mind the local circumstances, that is actually if you have your own power generation, that is actually a blessing. Because otherwise, the gas shortage or the gas prices or the utilities which are actually shooting up is actually another variable which is hitting the manufacturing cost badly for all the vendors. So apart from you can say the unavailability of the material or the material available at a higher prices, they are also having disadvantage of getting the gas at a higher price. So that is actually
Energy side,
another aspect.
Jayal sir,
right?
another point I would like to add, like the packaging
Yeah,
cost is not more than 5% of the product. Even if you're selling the product in the market,
yeah,
so it will be maximum 2 or 3% for majority of the customers on majority of the products. Obviously it would differ product wise, but the cost of not having your product in the market is bigger than the 2-3% cost. What would you say
yeah.
on that?
Yeah, you're right, and I think packaging is something which is mandatory. Without packaging, when not land product into the market. So you are right that the cost of not having, or you can say the stock out cost, is actually something which any company cannot, or any even if that is actually some of the product which is related to the current environment, the COVID environment. Let's say if it is some cleansing product like hand wash or the soap, or you can see some detergents or some disinfectants. So if you don't have that packaging available, raw materials not available, so it means you are actually losing some opportunity in the market and somebody else is actually cashing it. So
Definitely.
I think two people are winner in the current environment. One is actually those who have already done the strategic procurement by sensing the you can say the you can say sensing the environment, and they have actually procured
Need of the hour.
strategically. Yeah, yeah. And the second one, those who have the backward integration and they can support from you can say their own sister concern companies, or the through the backward integration they can get the material and uninterrupted supplies. So here are any more question?
No, there are no more questions, sir. And it's last 6 minutes. So, if you guys want to give some more example or wrap up in, so please, we have last 6 minutes.
Okay, so I think one another area which we can discuss about packaging is actually the recycling of the rigid plastic, on which a lot of work is actually going on, and the companies are actually aiming to um, introduce the bottles produced from the recycled plastic. So that is actually another area on which a lot of work is going on in Pakistan. And not only Pakistan, I can share the example that if we talk about South Africa, so in terms of the PET plastic from which the mineral water bottles are being made, so South Africa is using 100% PCR plastic bottles, which means they are actually producing bottles 100% produced from the recycled plastic. By recycled plastic means it is like that let's say if Nestle, which is operating in South Africa, so they produce a mineral water bottle from the you can say the fresh plastic from the fresh PET. and they fill the mineral water in it and they dispatch it to the market. So once the consumer use it and the consumers have thrown it into the trash bin, then from there, after the consumers consumed it and it was thrown into the dustbin, from where there it was collected and again supplied to some place where it is again washed, cleaned, and then crushed, and then again the you can see the resin which is actually used to produce the bottle again. So that resin on in it Urdu it is called dana. So that resin or dana is actually produced from that used bottle, and again some mineral water bottle of same quality is produced from that plastic, and again mineral water is refilled in it and it is fit for use. So that concept is actually the PCR plastic concept, that your own bottle is again recycled and you are again reusing it. So that cycle is actually known as PCR plastic, and in South Africa they are having 100% PCR plastic in PET bottles. Similarly, in Latin American region, the countries like Brazil and Argentina and Chile, they are working on the projects and they have achieved 50% PCR on PET plastic. In Pakistan, a lot of work is going on, but in unstructured way. Most of the work is being handled by, you can see, these Awanis traders, and they have collection hubs and a lot of recollection is happening and a lot of recycling is happening, but it is not happening in a structured way. Recently I came to know one of the company, they are a big group and they have established I think one of the best recycling machine, and that is actually a German made machine, and that is actually installed here in Pakistan at Hyderabad, and they have a very good capability of producing 20 tons recycled plastic of any kind from that machine. So so a lot of work is actually going on recycling. Why I'm talking a lot about recycling? Because to me, as I have mentioned earlier, that this is something which the marketers should study and they can actually use it in their marketing, as you have mentioned, their USPs or the positioning, or some other campaigns they can craft in regarding environmental sustainability or regarding the packaging sustainability, and that is already being practiced. Head and Shoulder actually made a big noise in the European market when they produced Head and Shoulder bottle from ocean plastic. Similarly, if you look at the Dove Australia website, you would see that they are using the environmental sustainability and the packaging sustainability as a marketing tool. Similarly, I have witnessed one of the bottle of the shampoo, and on that shampoo bottle, the shampoo name was written, and beneath the shampoo brand name, it was written, "Once I was a milk bottle." So that is actually clearly communicating the message that this bottle is actually made from recycled plastic. So these kind of innovative idea, I think marketeers are more innovative in terms of generating or crafting the positioning statements or the marketing jargons. I'm very bad at it. So I think, yeah. So they must be having more brains and more words than I think than us. So they can craft better statements and better positioning statements and better
But
strategies.
we have
So these are the
given them
things.
a ground idea. We have given them the ground idea to use sustainability for their positioning and targeting. So if the
Yeah,
marketer are listening you and use will use it, that will be helpful for them because
y-
it is a need of the environment. It's not
exactly.
only to promote something, but it is a need of the environment to save our environment to be. It will be helpful for us the healthy to keep the environment healthy. It's need
Yeah, exactly. And sooner or later, it would become a global mandate as well.
exactly.
Multinationals already have the targets at the global and the regional level. So sooner or later, it would become, though that in the, you can say, being in the D and D markets, these targets would come later in this region. but the preparation is necessary, and I think it is very important that as a marketer, at least we should have this kind of thought and with this kind of you can say imagination in our mind, that if we are having this kind of situation, then what kind of sustainability based positioning statement or sustainability based marketing campaigns we can craft.
So, Raza, do you want to add something because it's already we reached the time?
Yes. Whatever you guys are saying is exactly true. Like, and now at this point in time, like even the even the customers of, like, especially those export customers, they are asking for sustainable sources, and it is very important that keeping the climate change and all these things that are happening all over the world, it is very important that we move towards sustainable sources. And this is happening in a lot of companies, in multinationals, in textile industries, in textile industries,
Sorry, Raza, we can't hear you.
customers, a lot of customers. Are you guys there?
Yes, please continue.
Yes, yeah, I was just saying that these sort of projects, like sustainability projects, they're able to even for Pakistan exports. A lot of customers are moving towards sustainable projects like FSC, and even this is adding value to their own product. Like, like there are concepts like, if you buy this product, you're actually buying something which is more sustainable and better for the climate. So these sort of things, a lot of customers, they're moving towards those sort of product. They're paying extra for it, but they are willing to go for something which is more sustainable. And this sort of, there are a lot of awareness campaigns going on in the international market as well. So the same sort of thing is happening in the export business.
Okay,
So
thank you,
that's
Raza. Thank you, Sir Jiyad. It was a great experience for me to learn from both of you and even the viewers who are watching it. Definitely, it will be
yes.
helpful for them, for all the marketeer, the examples you guys have quoted, and experience you guys shared. That is really amazing. And thank you for taking out the time and shared everything. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Raza.
uh,
Thank you, Hira, and I would especially like to thank Zabist for this opportunity. So we could actually spread the word here, and it was a pleasure coming here, and looking forward for more webinars like these. Thank
yeah.
you. Allah
Thank you,
Hafiz.
Hira, and I would repeat the same thing, that thank you to Jabez for providing the opportunity to share the knowledge regarding the packaging as well with the audience. And this is something you can say which is in my blood, because I've spent a lot of time in packaging. So, yeah, so I always love to speak on packaging. So, thanks to Jabez as well for providing this opportunity, and thanks to both of you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank
so much.
you. Thank you.
Okay.
Signing up. Allah Hafiz.
Okay.
Okay.
Allah Hafiz.
Rafiz.